The film opens with a man coming down into a dark basement. He places down a pickup drum loader and enters a room with old machinery, bottles, and photos of a young boy. He then pushes further on to another room with parts of human flesh. It is obvious that this place is very disturbing. The man is wearing a mask, so he is unidentifiable until later in the film when we discover who this poor fellow is. The scene transitions to another room that is stained blood red, and a different man is groaning on the floor. He tries to get up but cannot and crawls over to a bucket of dirty water to drink. He begs for help, but no one helps him. Suddenly, a strange-looking alien-like creature approaches the man and viciously attacks him, eating him alive. A moment later, the masked man walks in, not to rescue the man, but to calmly engage with the creature, almost in a friendly manner. The masked man drags the body to another room with human flesh, cuts up the body, severing an arm, then tosses the arm back to the creature like it was feeding time. The story moves toward a vehicle coming in from Delaware, where Angela, her husband Drew, and two children, Josie and Lucas, are in transit to Angela's mom's house. Angela is on the phone with her brother Wes, telling him that they will arrive in 2 or 3 hours. She mentions nephew Noah, and Lucas and Josie whisper together, calling Noah creepy. The reasoning behind this will come to light in time. Back at Angela's mom's house, the family's getting ready for their arrival, and Wes is there too. He notices some debris lying around and tells Noah to take out the trash. At this point, we learn that Noah is lazy and cocky, which leads the cousins to call him creepy. Wes has to ask Noah several times to finally get him to pick up the trash and take it out. Elsewhere, a man is shown walking down a deserted street while holding coils of barbed wire in his arms. The man takes the coils and stretches them across the roadway and hides them under leaves. On another roadway, he hangs a "Road Ahead Closed" sign to block the main route. Back to Angela's family, night is falling, and the children are exhausted. Lucas is vocal about being hungry, and Josie needs to go to the restroom badly. However, the "Road Closed" sign is eventually encountered. Suspicion sets in, and Lucas cautions that it seems strange and suggests they stay on the main road, except no one considers it. Drew decides to take an alternative route, the same road where the barbed wire is hidden. As the vehicle runs across the hazards, the tires explode. The shrill sound screams, and the vehicle flips over an uncontrollable number of times. Will they survive a crash of this magnitude? Next, Angela wakes up inside the same red basement room. She is injured, but she's not alone. Her entire family is there, chained to the floor. It's clear someone brought them here. It's the lair of that same masked man and his terrifying creature. Angela checks each of them. Lucas and Josie eventually regain consciousness, but Drew remains severely injured and unconscious. Suddenly, footsteps echo through the room. Someone is approaching. Angela quickly instructs her children to pretend they are still unconscious, and they lie motionless. The kidnapper enters, dragging another gravely wounded woman and tossing her on the floor like trash. He turns to leave, but Drew, barely aware, mutters Angela's name. The man stops, tries to see who spoke, but eventually leaves. Once he goes, Angela and the kids make a desperate attempt to escape, but the chains keep them bound. The injured woman begs for help, but Angela is powerless to help. And then, horror returns, as a huge being walks out of a cage, as the creature begins to eat the woman alive. It is a crime they can do nothing to stop. As the slaughtering goes on, the woman's eye pops free of her head and rolls toward Lucas, who vomits with fear. With some courage, Angela tries speaking to the monster in chains, asking it what it is, but it makes no response. Back at home, Wes and his mom are beginning to get nervous. Morning has come, and Angela and her family have not shown up. Wes makes a call, but the phone is out of reach. Their grandmother tells Noah to call Lucas, but his is off too. Wes decides he will look for them and leaves Noah with her. Meanwhile, Drew awakens. Angela goes to him. Drew, frightened and confused, asks how they got there and who this man is with a pet monster. Lucas looks around and sees a bucket of disgusting water. Then he notices something above them, a severed arm. Yelling in disgust, he tosses it away. Then angrily, he picks it back up and tosses it at the chained beast. The masked man comes back. Drew asks him confrontationally for the answer. The stranger, in a calm manner, says he keeps them to feed the monster. He tells them that they have to decide who will be the first to be sacrificed, and he leaves. Angela asks the man for water and a kit for Drew's injury, and the masked man says coldly that if she wants to help Drew, she could offer him as the first sacrifice. The man tells them they have until morning to decide who is to be fed to the monster. That evening, Wes continues his search. He tells his mom and Noah that nothing has turned up in regards to Angela. As he drives, he eventually comes across a "road closed" sign. He figures Angela couldn't have traveled past that point, so he exits the vehicle to investigate the area. Not far from this location, he sees a board covered with missing person flyers. This scares Wes enough that he turns back and runs into a man parked in a car. Wes asks the man if he's seen Angela's car. The man says no. Wes feels uneasy about him. He mentions that there will be a dirt bike race the next day, and he is blocking the road off for that reason. He blames some prank kid who moved the sign earlier. To make things weirder, the man once again says one of Angela's wife's phrases, "Tough people get through tough times." Wes notices that the man has crates of bottles in his car, the same bottles that we saw in the basement. Could it be the same man? Soon after, we see the man at his house with his wife. He asks for a first aid kit, the same first aid kit that Angela asked for previously. This happens in the same time frame as the first case. The man gives a reason for needing it because his wife's sister's coming in the morning. Is the woman with the injury that the man took to the basement his wife's sister? In the basement, Angela and her family remain trapped in the struggle to escape. Angela hopes that the police have been notified. Drew is using the victim's belt to try to break the locks on the chains, while the monster is crawling closer and closer. Even though it is chained, the creature lunges forward and Drew has to jump backwards. Meanwhile, Wes and his mother call the police and are told that they cannot do anything until 24 hours have passed. There are only 2 hours remaining. Wes is growing impatient, but his mother begs him to pay no mind to their previous actions. Morning comes. The stranger appears again, acting jovial, and greets the family with a "good morning." Drew answers sourly. The man then removes his mask, confirming all the family had thought. He tells them they are being missed. Angela realizes that he has met Wes. He demands that they choose the first sacrifice, or he will choose for them. He gestures at Angela and the children. Drew immediately steps forward and offers himself to save the family. The man strikes him with a barbed stick, throws the body of the first victim into the loader, unlocks Drew's chains, and places him in front of the monster. He retrieves the first aid kit and leaves. The instant the monster appears, Drew attacks the beast with a ring of keys he had taken from the man during their scuffle. Angela, Lucas, and Josie try to pull him back, but the monster manages to bite his arm off. Drew collapses on the ground as the creature enjoys the spoils of its hunt. Angela and the children quickly tie the belt around Drew's arm to stop the blood as best they can. Meanwhile, Wes is driving with Noah to see if he can find anything interesting. He spots a house and pulls in, getting out to approach it. The door opens, and it's the wife of the kidnapper. Wes asks her if there have been any accidents, anything strange. She asks him in, offers him coffee, and tells him her own son Harry has gone missing. As Wes sees the photos, he instantly recognizes the same boy he saw in the basement. They both take a moment to share grief. Noah arrives just then. Wes stands up to leave, and the lady says to him the same thing again. Tough people get through tough times. Wes is utterly frozen in this moment. These are the same words he heard from that dubious man. He has it figured out. He abruptly leaves. Back in the basement, the stranger takes a seat holding the photo of his son, remembering the day happened, tried to search for Harry in the woods and could not find him. Now he holds Drew's wallet, looks at the photo of the family, and grabs the barbed stick again before heading downstairs. He believes the monster ate Drew, but when he looks at the floor, it is clean. He realizes that they were able to save him and decides to grab Josie to be the bait. Drew raises suddenly for an attack. During the commotion, the stranger presses on Drew's injured arm, screaming. Lucas is injured during the struggle. The stranger is now choking Angela. Josie leaps on the stranger, trying to get him off of her mother. At that moment, the flashback cuts in with the truth. While the stranger was looking for Harry, in the woods he encountered a hand of a monster. Harry's bag was lying by the monster. This was evidence that the monster had eaten his son. Instead of kill it, he decided to tame it, and now he uses innocent people for revenge and blames the monster for his loss. At present, Lucas picks up the stick with barbs on it and hits him, but the stick falls and the monster bursts out of its cage. Angela and Josie wrap a chain around the neck of the stranger. Lucas helps, and together they strangle him until he goes unconscious. Drew wakes up, lures the monster back into the cage, and throws the keys to the rest of his family. But the monster lunges, and at that moment, it devours him in front of everyone's eyes. Angela and the children scream, but they cannot do anything. Lucas is badly hurt and bleeding and begins to faint. Angela picks up the keys, unlocks the chains, and starts to escape. The stranger, still alive, tries to catch them. Josie hits him and they escape. Angela stops and watches the stranger and the monster. The stranger tries to calm the monster, but the monster knows no loyalty. It immediately attacks and kills the stranger, the same fate he dealt to the others. Inside, Josie rummages through bandages to dress Lucas's wounds, and they recover Drew's wallet. After Josie and Lucas leave, Angela remains behind to weep and release her grief. Eventually, they escape the basement. But the creature is free too. From the woods come Angela and her kids, and right before them steps Noah out of a car. They are reunited, finally safe. But somewhere behind them is the monster, free and dangerous again. And with this thought, the film ends.